Hey, what's up everybody? Catherine here from YogaNaraska. Welcome to Workout Wednesday. I'll give you guys a minute to grab your mats if you'd like to join me before we get into our little Wednesday workout here. We're going to be working legs today, and we're going to be going through some variations of the poses, but on your tiptoes. So we're working these beautiful calves today. So enjoy that, grab your mat, and we'll get ready. So you don't need anything else, just your mat. If you'd like to put on your own little workout playlist, go right ahead. If you're looking for music, you can look me up on Spotify at YogaNaraska, and I have a playlist just simply called Workout. Just put it on shuffle, and you're good to go. All right, so I'll wait a couple minutes. I always feel like I start these too early before anyone gets a chance to jump in, and I forgot to give you a reminder today, so my bad, but what can you do? This week I probably won't be live for my Mindful Monday and my Workout Wednesday because I have plans, but I am going to film them ahead of time and have them ready for you, so don't worry, they'll be there as always. Also, if you haven't checked out already, my August schedule for online classes is available on my Facebook page, on my Instagram, and my website, which is www.yoganaraska.com. If you're part of my newsletter, check your emails because there is a link for some promo pricing, and if you're not on my email newsletter, you should definitely join. I'll see if I can put the link in the video here, and you can join for some cheaper prices on Tuesdays and Thursday classes, 8 p.m. on Zoom. Okay, so let's get ready for our class. I'll see if anybody else is live here. Hello, hello. Say hello if you're here. Awesome. Okay, so you guys can watch this later if you like. It'll be in my Facebook and on my IGTV, and I'll be uploading them all to YouTube shortly so that you'll be able to check them out anytime you like. There's also a content library on my website where I'll be uploading all of my, well, most of, not all of, my YouTube practices there so that you can find them all in one easy place. Cool. Okay, so let's begin our practice. So I figure we can do our warm-up today from standing because we don't normally, and I've kind of figured out some sort of camera setup so you can see most of my body. For some reason, whenever I do my Zoom classes, like the camera's more zoomed out, and on lives it's a bit different. So we'll work with what we have. Okay, so begin in a mountain pose, Tadasana. Tadasana. So we have our feet about hip width apart. We're stacking ankles and then knees and hips all in a nice straight line. All of the vertebrae stacking up, stacking up, stacking up, straight line, making space between them, reaching up towards the ceiling with our spine, lifting the chin ever so slightly, and crown of the head lifts up. Hands face forward, palms face forward, shoulders back and down the spine. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in, bring both hands up and overhead. Take a little back bend here, gaze at the fingertips. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Beginning to move with the breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, let's take a little forward fold here. Swan dive down, keeping the back straight, back straight, back straight. And then when we get to our flat back here, then we just start to fold down into our forward fold. Gentle bend in the knees if you need it here. You might grab opposite elbows and just let that sort of weight of the hands pull you down a little bit further, starting to stretch the spaces between the vertebrae, feeling nice and solid in the legs, but loosey-goosey in the upper body. Beautiful. Okay, so if you can reach the floor, plant your fingertips on the floor. If not, you might use blocks. And then what we're going to do is we're going to straighten the spine, straighten the legs, looks like a straight ahead as well. Little half lift here. Exhale back into your fold. Bend the knees if you need. Let the upper body hang on the thighs. Okay, root to rise. Inhale. Let's bring the arms up as we start to straighten out the spine. Come back to our mountain pose. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Wonderful. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, let's move to the left now. So bring both hands over to the left side, stretching through the right side body. You might look up to the right side, opening up through the front. Inhale back to center. Exhale, let's move to the right, opening the left side body. Inhale, back to center. And let's just move with the breath, back and forth in a little crescent here. Moving with the breath. Beautiful. Okay, so in center here, I'm going to take a step forward so I don't hit the wall. We're going to take the right hand forward, split the left hand towards the back, look over the left shoulder, coming into a twist, a spinal twist. We're just warming up the spine here before we start our practice. Always important to protect the spine. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bring right hand back, left hand forward, look over the right shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale to twist at your own pace. Inhale to center. Exhale to twist. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, exhale, hands back down. Beautiful. Okay, so stepping back into the middle of your mat, let's take the feet out a little bit wider than hip width apart, so maybe like three feet apart. And the toes, I know you probably can't see in one of the videos here, it's a little bit cut off, but toes are pointing 45 degrees to either corner of your mat edges. Okay, so our knees are also rotating out so that they're pointing towards your toes. Then we're going to take the tailbone, we're going to tuck it under, so kind of like you're doing like, I don't know, is this part of the Macarena? I'm not really sure. You're like a little hip thrust, okay? You know what I mean. All right, so tuck that tailbone under, send the knees out towards the toes, and we begin to sink it down into goddess pose. You can bring your arms up into a nice sort of T cactus arm sort of thing. You can look at your lovely toned thighs. Be the goddess or, I don't know, god, king, whatever that you are. Inhale back up, come into a four-pointed star. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. So again, keeping that flat back until you reach that halfway point and then rounding down. Okay, just for fun here, see if you can roll your body weight forward onto your hands on blocks if you can't reach, and see if you can just come up onto your tiptoes for a moment. Shifting your shoulders over your wrists, just playing with a bit of weight balance. And then coming back to center, let's bring the hands over to the right leg. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the left leg. Exhale back to center. And now for a little extra challenge here, bring the hands to the hips. Keep your back straight. Inhale as we start to slowly, using sort of your bum as a counterweight, stand back up, sending the hips out forward once more. Beautiful. Okay, are we ready for another little challenge for our goddess pose here? All right, so again, make sure your toes are pointing out to the corners of the mat. Knees are following in that same direction. Inhale, bring arms out to the sides. Exhale, tuck that tailbone under. Hands come to cactus as we start to bend. Lower, 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 lower. How low can you go? And when you go as low as you can, see if you can lift those heels up off the ground, coming into a tiptoe goddess. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. Arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Wonderful. Take a moment here. Maybe coming back over onto your tiptoes, bringing shoulders over hands. So your hands might need to walk off the mat here if you can't see me. So you just get that little shift in weight. I've been learning how to do handstands, so I've been doing these sort of progressions. It's really fun. Okay, let's come back to center. Inhale to the right foot. Notice that sensation in the back of the left leg, or the right leg, sorry. Exhale to the middle. Inhale to the left leg. Maybe notice if one leg is tighter than the other. Exhale to center. Hands to the hips. Let's come back up as we inhale. Slowly, 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 using your bum as a counterweight, pushing the hips forward. Tuck the tailbone under, bring arms up into your cactus. Drop it down one more time into our goddess. And if you feel like the challenge, come up to your tiptoes. See if we can hold it now. Let's hold it for, let's do 4 breaths. Anyone coming onto my live now is probably like, what is she doing? Goddess pose, people. Being the goddess that I am. Embrace your inner goddess. Embrace that shake. One more breath. Inhale back up to your four-pointed star. Beautiful. Okay. Let's heel toe those feet back together, coming back to our mountain pose. And then I'm going to turn sideways so we can do chair pose. You can see me a little bit better. But you can stay facing the camera if that's easier for you. Or video screen, you know what I mean. Okay. So here in mountain pose, our feet are still hip width apart. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring arms up and overhead. And then imagine there's like a little bar stool behind you. And you're going to try to just like sit your bum down on it. But we don't want the knees to kind of flare out in front of us. We want to keep the shins at perpendicular. I always forget perpendicular and parallel. Perpendicular to the mat as much as possible. Okay. So inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, send the bum back, 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 back. Keep shins parallel. You might need to shift your weight into the heels, maybe lift the toes. Inhale, back up. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, drop it down. This time, let's exhale the hands behind you. See if you can bring them up like a little hummingbird. Staying in your chair position here. And then let's see if we can shift the weight to the tiptoes. Maybe bringing palms to face up. Embracing that shake. Hold for a couple breaths here. Woo! Challenging balance, strength, calves, thighs. Breathe deeply. Okay, exhale, drop the arms down. Inhale, bring them up. Drop the heels, come back to your standing position. Woo! Okay, shake it all out for a minute. I'm going to grab a sip of water. Feel free to do so if you like as well. All right, we've got a couple more poses. This is going to be a short one today because I have an appointment. But always here for you, you know that. Okay, so come back to your standing position. You might need to also face long ways on the mat now because we're going to be doing some lunges, so you're going to need some more space. Okay, take a step to the top of your mat. And then we're just going to take the right foot back a couple feet. And then we're going to begin to drop it down into a low lunge. So this right knee is going to head down towards the floor. Left knee is stacking over left ankle. So you can bring arms out in front of you or overhead, whatever feels best. Okay, take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower down. Till knee touches the floor if you can. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back up. Last one, we're going to hold for a couple breaths without touching on the ground. So let that knee hover just a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, lower, let it hover. Grounding through the feet, shoulders down and away from the ears. And come back up. Beautiful. Step forward to the front of the mat. Bring arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Generous bend in the knees. Let the upper body hang. I'll step back so you can see me on the Instagram a bit better. Let the upper body hang, heavy. Take a break. When you feel ready, coming back up to standing. Stepping a little bit forward to the front of your mat again. This time we're going to step the right foot back a little bit further, coming into a high lunge. So that was low lunge, now we're going to do high lunge. So take a generous step back. And then again, our left, step back with the right foot, left knee is over left ankle. Bring arms up and overhead, so we come into high lunge. And then if you'd like a challenge here, we're going to tip the upper body forward on like a 45-degree angle, and then come up onto the tiptoe. Woo! That really lights it up, doesn't it? Take a couple breaths here. Embrace the shake. 2 more breaths. Drop the foot down. Bring the left or right foot back to meet the left. Big deep breath in. Forward fold. Whew, you're doing good. Okay, so generous bend in the knees, let the upper body hang on those thighs. Inhale back up. Take your time. Step to the front of the mat. And then we'll step the left foot back this time. Not too far because we're going to do our low lunge again. So step left foot back. And then make sure right knee over right ankle. And make sure that left knee has room to come down to the ground. So take a deep breath in. Inhale, lower. Oh, sorry, exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Take a break here because we're going to hold it for a couple breaths. Get ready. Inhale. Exhale, lower and hold. Hover above the mat. Grounding through the feet, shoulders down. Inhale back up. Step the left foot forward, forward fold. Take a breath here. Feel that strength in the legs. Let the upper body hang heavy. Preparing for high lunge with the left foot this time. Well, left foot back, I mean. Okay, step back to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And then we're going to take that big, big, generous step back with the left foot. Make sure right knee is over right ankle. Sink it down into your high lunge. Take a deep breath in. Send it forward 45 degrees with the upper body. Lift onto the ball of the foot and the tiptoes. Whew, it's tricky. Couple breaths here. Feel the fire. Exhale, drop it back down. Step the left foot forward, forward fold. I don't know if I mixed up sides there. I can never remember. But anyways, we should be doing opposite side that you've been doing. Okay, back to our forward fold. You might even hear plant the hands a little bit further away than you normally would, so reach out a little bit. Shift the shoulders over the wrists. See if you can come up onto your tiptoes. Send the tailbone high to the sky as you can. Sending the weight into the shoulders and down to the wrist. Inhale back up to your regular forward fold. Come down to the knees. Send it back into child's pose. So dropping the hips over the feet. Maybe making nice wide knees so you have lots of space for your upper body to drop down. Take a little rest here. When you feel ready, press it back up to table. And let's just do one final down dog to sort of stretch out the calves and the thighs. Okay, so curl the toes under, send the hips up, tailbone points to the sky, heels track downwards, but they don't need to touch the floor. They're just aiming that way. So heels are aiming down while tailbone's aiming up, creating this sort of like dynamic stretch in the whole back of the legs. Make sure we're not dumping weight into the shoulders. We're pulling them back and together, zipping them down the back, but also sort of like rotating them out. So you're almost taking the insides of your elbow creases and rotating them towards the outside of the mat. You might take a couple little steps here, bending one leg and the other.
Take a deep breath in. And then lift up on the tiptoes. Start to roll the hips forward. Roll the spine forward, slowly shifting shoulders over wrists. Coming into a plank. Keeping elbows tucked in. Let's drop down to the mat. Chaturanga. Untuck the toes, press up into a little cobra. Or a big cobra. This is a big one, I guess. Exhale back down. And then we're going to roll over onto our back. I don't know if you can see me. I hope you can. Roll over onto your back. Again, I mentioned this is sort of tricky camera angles here. Okay, one last stretch for us here. Keeping left leg bent. So knee pointing towards the sky, sole of the foot on the ground. Bring the right leg up. Bring right ankle over left knee. Creating sort of like a figure four. Reach through that little space, threading the needle, and then we're going to lift up the left foot. So the left sole of the foot is tracking towards the opposite end of the room. And then just gently pull the left knee towards you as we open up the space in the right hip and right thigh. Just take a couple breaths here, noticing that sensation. Exhale, drop the left foot. Bring right foot down, bring left ankle over right knee. Inhale, bring the right sole of the foot to the opposite end of the mat. Drawing that right thigh, right knee towards the body. Figure four with the left leg. Noticing if maybe your left hip and left thigh are a little bit tighter than the right. Exhale, bring your leg back down, untangling. Now let's do one more stretch for good measure. Bring the soles of the feet together, and then drop the knees out to the sides, coming into reclined bound angle. Supta Baddha Konasana. I always mean to practice my Sanskrit, and I always forget. So this is Supta Baddha Konasana. You don't need to force your knees down, just let gravity slowly pull them, opening up the hips. Taking a couple deep breaths here. What other poses will we do? Let's test my Sanskrit. We did goddess pose, which is Devi Asana. We did high lunge, which I always mix up. It's either, I was going to say Matsyendrasana, but that is half Lord of the Fishes. I think it's Anjayasana is your crescent high lunge. And we did chair, Uttanasana. What else did we do? Forward fold, Uttanasana. And of course, Tadasana, mountain pose. See, I know them, I just forget to use them. Okay. Oh, actually, there's one more pose I wanted to do, speaking of Sanskrit names. So let's bring these together. Create like a little ball. Roll around, massaging your low back for a moment. And then, if you have the ability, maybe tuck the hands under the knees, and then begin to rock back and forth until you come to a seated position. So no rush. Just see how long this takes you to be able to roll all the way up. Beautiful. Okay. So we are going to come into Malasana, or low squat. This is also a really great pose for the hips. So it's a little bit tricky if you don't have a lot of hip mobility. So what you might do is, if you have blocks or just like, I don't know, maybe some, what's the word? Kleenex boxes or toilet paper rolls. You might stack one up behind you. And then we're going to just sort of open up the legs here, bouncing on the tiptoes. And then you can just rest your bum on those blocks or on whatever you happen to have near. Coming into Malasana. So you can either do this with feet flat, or you can try with feet up. So let's just start with level 1 here in Malasana or low squat. If this isn't feeling too challenging for you, you might drop those blocks away, seeing how low you can get the booty, using sort of elbows to push away either side of the knees. And then if you'd like another challenge, you can sort of bring your hands forward into a little bit of a Frogger type squat here, and then walk the feet in together so that heels are touching. You're on your tiptoes, and then the upper body's a little bit more lifted in this version. And you're balancing on those tiptoes. Wonderful. You might even use the hands to sort of press them open a little bit. Or if you're hanging out in Lomoasana with your feet on the ground, a bit of wider stance, you might sort of use one arm to press the other way, really opening that hip. That feels really good, actually. And then doing the other arm, pressing against the same side knee. Coming back to center. Let's drop the booty down. Send the feet out straight, coming back into our Sukhasana easy pose. I'm so proud of my Sanskrit today, guys. Okay, let's bring hands to heart center. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me today. I really do enjoy these. Leave me some love in the comments if you love them too, or if there's any sort of area of the body that you'd like to work. Today I felt like we would do legs, calves, tiptoe stuff just because it's fun. But I'm always looking for ideas, so if you have anything that you'd like to do, let me know. Also check out my class schedule, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays we're going to be doing a sort of mental, emotional health type thing, moving from self-loathing, so we're going to work on self-forgiveness, to self-acceptance, self-worth, self-care, self-love, really developing a better relationship with ourselves. And that's 30 minutes of yoga followed by 30 minutes of guided meditation. All you need to do is lie down and listen. It's like the best yoga ever. If you've never tried Yoga Nidra, check out my YouTube channel. There's a bunch there. All you have to do is like put in earphones and listen. It's great. And then on Thursdays is going to be more like this kind of style class where we're going to focus on an area on the body. It'll be a whole hour, but there will be meditation at the beginning and Savasana at the end. So basically like this, but with extra yogi goodness sprinkled in, and always an awesome playlist, which unfortunately I can't do here, which annoys me to no end, but it is what it is. Okay, what time is it? I got my appointment. Oh yes, perfect timing. And I'm sure you have your lunch to get to in the rest of your day. So thank you so much for joining me. Love having you guys here. Stay tuned for lots of cool things happening with YogaNaraska over the next couple months. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Till next time, my friends. Oh, I wish there was a more like graceful way to say goodbye other than like getting all up in your face and then being like, bye. But there's not, so it is what it is. Bye.